Hey guys, welcome, I guess, to like a ClopFic Wednesday thing I'm gonna do. Anyways, ooh, this is like, I guess, something I was in the anime community back then where I would just do slideshows of this fetish, microphilia. It goes two ways if you wanted to. So right now we're gonna have a giant horny rainbow dash, and apparently we're Spike and we're doing this in second person. So let's just hop right into it. To go where no dragon has gone before. Her underwear. When you open your eyes, a vast expanse of brown stretches on below your feet, and if you look far enough into the horizon, you can see the blue outline of Rainbow Dash's crotch. I told you this would happen, you yell up at her, but her rosy eyes are gazing over the library for your presence. It appears your voice is nothing more than a squeak to her, so in sighing, you bound towards her, and doing the only sensible thing you can think of, punch Rainbow Dash in the cooch. Come on, I'm down here. You deliver a few more punches, but they just ripple through the fabric of her shorts. You throw your shoulder into it, blushing. You can feel the fabric of her panties on the other side, but you reason to yourself that this is the only way to gain her attention, so you keep thrusting your shoulder. Thud, thud, thud. A shiver runs through her blue fives, her crotch flicking forward an inch, but seeing how that's your size and height, the impact sends you flying back a few good feet. Your back collides with the wood. The world becomes slightly blurry, but as you shake your head, your eyes begin to climb the mountain. That's the woman. That's this woman. The first thing you gaze at her thighs, commonly referred to by thunder thighs, but if you said that to her at this height, you briefly wonder if she would crush you between them. A fitting death, you think, that is, until you your gaze travels between her legs. Typos. They're faint, but you can make out her ass cheeks in the distance, snug in her very tight shorts. They still have enough space to jiggle when she moves, something you know why she picked those particular shorts in the first place. Your gaze travels upwards. The flat expanse of her exposed blue stomach speaks nothing of the top muscles hidden underneath all the fur, but you know they take shape whenever action begins to take place, or she leans slightly back. For a moment, you gaze into her belly button, wondering how it would feel for yourself to be snug inside there, napping as Rainbow went about her business, completely unaware of your existence. Well, that was the case for most of the time, but at least in this instance, you would be getting off on it. Your gaze travels up her yet again, and for a moment her cyan face is obstructed by two cyan objects. Both you hold dear in your mind very late at night. Rainbow Dash is a C cup, and while it wasn't as Applejack or Rarity, they certainly weren't small like Fluttershy or Pinky. In fact, they are the perfect size for you, enough to cup in a claw without there being access. Now, not that you know by experience, having a squeeze and knowing you could have collected just a little more is all that you need. You quickly realize that even if you were to throw your body at her boob and hug as much of it as you were able, you wouldn't even come close to claiming a quarter of tit flesh. But that wasn't a challenge you minded losing, not one bit. You then hear a gasp. Her body leans forward, and for the moment your stomach churns at the speed of the giant. In movies, they were supposed to move slow and lethargically, but here, Dash is moving as quickly as she usually does. Her eyes travel past her boobs, seeing some cleavage as it pops over the tank top. Your eyes settle on the face scrunched up in as much confusion as yours. Oh crud, you hear her say, squinting her eyes on your diminutive form. For whatever reason, you cover your chest and your crotch with a claw, blushing under such scrutiny. Her monolithic rose eyes blink, and she sighs, the warm air rushing down on you like a current. Hey Spike, that you? You wave your claws in response. Not too many bugs have claws, so you hope she understands the gesture. Oh, I'm so boned. She pinches the bridge between her nose, sighing, then lowering the same hand to the table. For you, it's like a saucer that's flying your way, triggering your fight or flight reflexes, to which you to the latter because you've always been a bit of a pansy. Hey, her voice booms. You look over your shoulder just to see her finger rushing towards her. Quit it. I'm trying to help. You can't help yourself. Your eyes seeing something rushing towards you, and your legs run as a result, and it doesn't help your logical side that Rainbow's tone has been anything from gentle. You push your legs harder, but before you can increase your speed, a force collides against your back, and you're pushed down onto the table. The impact knocks the air out of you. You fail your body and limbs as a result. Easy, dude. I'm only trying to help. The boom of your voice doesn't assuage your hysteria at all. You push your claws into the wood, giving all your might against the one furry finger holding you down. Yet, no matter how hard you struggle, her finger remains still. You hear a giggle. You know, Spike, this is kinda hot. She applies a little more pressure to your back, but it's enough to slam you back into the wood and keep you completely still. You can't move despite all your mind, and yet it's like a game to her. She applies more pressure and you want to scream. You shift your head left, looking up at the titanic face woman above. So, she says, lifting her finger slightly, are we calmed down? You nod your head. She watches you for a few moments, either because she's conceived you're going to make a break for it, or just saying the sensation to play at a later date. Either way, her finger then lifts off you, but not before scratching the back of her head with a nail. Aren't you just the good boy now? She says, causing you to internally cringe. Internally cringe. She places the back of her hand on the table just before your feet, her palm for you to hop on. You take a few cautionary steps towards it before sighing and hopping on. Awesome. She then clears the throat before speaking into the palm of her other hand, muffling his voice. Now going up to Rainbow Dash's face. The sensation is, to say at the very least, pleasant. At your size, you can feel every individual strand of fur that composes the palm at your feet, so soft and warm that you don't question your ability to pass out right now and snuggle it. The fact that the rest of her body is just a furry playground, you excited The fact that the rest of her body is just a furry playground for you excited all the possibilities, but you cross your arms, not intent on letting Dash seeing your joy. The hand lifts up, and quite surprisingly, at a speed that doesn't give you a whiplash, she pulls you towards her body, once again coming face to face with her crotch again. But before you could hope to stroke it once more, you are lifted up. You raise past her shorts, and as you peer over her hand, you see a gap at an waistband, and past the murky darkness you can catch a glimpse of her black panties. They're utterly gigantic to you, and you're without a doubt able to take your weight without sagging an inch. You debate about diving forward, but the opportunity slips you by. You sigh, stretching out a claw to rub against the fur of her sighing stomach. Hearing a giggle from above as your touch was felt, you pull back your claw just as the deep blue tank top begins. Its fabric plush yet firm, though your eyes wander to the mountains on the either side of you. It was one thing to see her rack from down below, but now that you are up close to them, you couldn't help but feel your mouth begin to water. Each boob stretches out the fabric, filling out in all the right places, and as you can see, once you're brought up to her chest, that her nipples are erect and protruding through the fabric. You gulp, feeling something prod between your legs. You cross your legs. You're supposed to be upset right now. Rainbow Dash fooled around with something she wasn't supposed to, and now you're barely an inch. Be mad, not horny. And then you rise above her cleavage, and all hope for you is lost. The top of her boobs just juts out from the tank top, tightly pressed together by the fabric, creating a perfect crevice in between the two, where you would fit quite nicely. Oh, sweet Celestia, you think to yourself, still staring deep into her tank top. I could see the thin layer covering her rack. Heck, I could probably jump around on them like a bouncy castle, her boobs sinking around my foot with every step jump I make. You clench your eyes and shake your head. You're not supposed to be getting horny over this, especially when in the hands, quite literally, of Rainbow Dash. You take deep breaths, open to ready your blush by the time you were face to face with the woman. Well, more like face to enormous eyes. Her hand is held before her face like a table, and you feel like you're standing on trial before the embodiment of justice itself. Her rose eyes blink upon your arrival, a guilty smirk on the giant lips below. Hey, so I'm guessing my experiment didn't work out as also well. You cross your arms and tap your foot. Would it help if I said I was sorry? You raise your brow. You wonder if her gaze can even detect such a minuscule action. Look, this isn't permanent, okay, she says. You sigh, deciding to sit down at the edge of her palm, legs dangling over the vistas of the ground below. At the worst, the bottle said the side effects would only last for a few days, so it's not all that bad. You rest your cheek into your palm. Rainbow, yeah? Okay, so she could hear you. That's a good thing. Told Twilight you were fooling around with her stuff and that you made a mistake. You roll your back to crack any lingering kinks. I'm sure she can summon a spell that can return me to normal liquidy split. But that would prove... But that would prove her right. I'd be wrong. Why would that matter, Rainbow? This is a mistake. Like... You raise a brow, gesturing to yourself with a claw. You mean this isn't already a failure? Hey, you never know, she exclaims, causing your eyes to squeeze as your ears begin to ring. Maybe this is just the in-between you gotta go through before the potion can really take effect. You don't even know what the potion was supposed to do. That's beside the point. Before you can say anything, a distant voice boom. Rainbow, are you down there? You lock eyes with the giant rose ones, and they do the same of your small green ones. Panic overtakes both of your faces, and not quite how sure you were going to explain to Twilight how you got tricked again by Rainbow. Then a shiver runs through the claw, knocking you off the palm to the vistas below. Oh shit, you say, reaching up and hooking claw at the blue palm's edge, feeling it tickle your own palm as you hang on for dear life. Rainbow, stop freaking now and help pull me back up. She looks at you, and her eyes widen, quickly picking you up by the nape of your neck and turning her head left and right for somewhere to hide you. Footsteps resound from the stairs, and Rainbow is still. Crap. She looks to you. I gotta hide you somewhere on me. Her other hand goes to her shorts, tapping all over them, only for her cheeks to flush. Alright, these don't have any pockets. Rainbow, who are you talking to down there? Twilight asks as she's now on the same floor. You both gulp. Rainbow looks at you, having to look down as she does so, and catching sight of Plan B, she sighs, looking back up at you, cheeks tinted pink and her tone weak. You better not enjoy this too much. He's been enjoying it, Rainbow. That's all I'm gonna say to you. He's been enjoying this. Before you can question or comment, the fingers keeping you suspended by your neck pull you towards her face, becoming bigger in detail the closer you got, until it completely dwarfs you as hovered before her plush lips. You see her mouth open slightly, and none of this darkness past her purely white teeth as she uses them to bite her lower lip. The act is also sexy and incredibly as such proximity, but before you can indulge in the sight, the lips pucker up and come flying towards you. You raise your arms in reflex, but her lips envelop you, being there's slight moisture feeling great on your scales, especially down below. You don't mean to, but you hump the lips, their plushness feeling also good, and luckily for you, Rainbow has her eyes closed as she kisses you. Okay, she was trying to hide you. Why is she kissing you? That's my question at this moment. Then her finger lets go of your neck, and you plummet downward. Cyan rushes past you all around as you can't help but scream. Your vision finally clearing to what you see, and then you scream, and then your screams turn to that of Joey. What? A moment later, you collide into Rainbow's bust, her boobs jiggling up and upon the sudden impact. You're caught between the pair, each mound snug at either side of you, their fur tickling your scales as you can't help but wingle in delight. This is the greatest sensation you've felt in your life. From your perspective, just a little ways behind you is her collarbone, and leading up is her mighty throat, looking up as though it could swallow you whole without trouble. You shiver at the thought, but are comforted by pressing your face against the upper side of the boob, mortarboarding it for all you were worth. It jiggles, but the ripples don't even reach her nipple. You look back up. The expanse of furry blue flesh goes out quite a distance for you, at least a few steps. Where her cleavage ends and the tank top begins, the rest of the massive world, or rather the main lobby of the library, greets you, and you can't help but feel yourself in some strange ship exploring uncharted land. Of course, the land you were to explore is the one you're already on. Keep it cool down there, Rainbow whispers from above, her voice almost cracking. She'll be here any second down. If she sees you, we're boned. For whatever reason, she still thinks of you on her side. And she would have been dead wrong had she not dropped you into her tits. Being at this size is fantastic, your hips beginning to thrust into the flesh, which both envelops your waist and jiggles away. It takes every strain of your willpower not just to hump her boobs till next Wednesday. That's it, she says before you can look up. You feel pressure on the top of your head, causing your body to sink further into your bosom. The soft walls rub more against your sides until your head is no longer visible in her cleavage. Stay like that until I'm done, and don't move around. And what? What? Oh, okay. And just why am I not allowed to move around? Comes the voice of Twilight, muffled by the fabric of the tank top. What are you doing down here anyway? Oh, you know, you don't hear Rainbow's voice so much as hear it rumble out of her body, especially through her boobs. Her boob hearing. Figured I'd come by, check how stuff was going for you. Rainbow, you're bold. You're so bold right now. You might hide Spike, but like being down here, no. Rainbow? Yeah? It's almost midnight. What the fuck are you doing in my house? Twilight, why are you so aggressive all of a sudden? What the hell? You recoil your head at that, but the two walls of mammal flesh hold you strictly in place. You struggled, placing a claw on either boob and pushing them apart, freeing yourself inch by inch, but then because of the open space, you only sink deeper and both walls clap on you once again. Well, that's because Rainbow yelps, no doubt because of your actions, but you didn't care. You try your stupid plan again, wiggling your body, but because I'm totally wasted and I don't feel like I've got it in me to make it back home, she scratches at her boob, causing it to jiggle on you. You hear a sigh from across the room, but you're too busy struggling against the boob flesh. Rainbow, you look up through the valley, seeing only the underside of her jaw as Rainbow looks forward, her face looking. Not quite concerned, but something else. As much as you enjoy her boobs hugging both sides of you, being forced to stay still is starting to drive you nuts. So you begin to flail your body. You throw yourself into the wall of cyan, the fur caressing your scales as the flesh momentarily develops you before jiggling away. You continue the process over and over until you feel something grow between your legs. If Rainbow wants to keep you hidden from Twilight, then you should be allowed to do whatever you like. As the two talk, her side boob presses your shaft against your belly. The sensation of itself already divine, but you want more. You begin to gravitating your hips up, feeling the boob enveloping and pressing against your shaft, starting at a slower pace. You look above and see your ministrations are having an effect. Rainbow's cheeks color red. Looks like you really weren't kidding about the drinking. You hear Twilight's voice grow closer, and then you feel her. Twilight's double D's collide against Rainbow's, enveloping you in a boob galore in every possible direction, feeling your position shift as the two twins massaged each other. Up above, you see a lavender hand take Rainbow's cheeks, affirming the heat for herself. You seem a bit sick as well, Twilight sighs, pulling away, much to your dismay. You should know better than to drink when you're under the weather. What the heck is going on here? Everything's still inside Rainbow's rack, and that makes you pissed. You begin your movements again, failing your body as you drive your crotch into her side boob, watching it press inward on the fat before it jiggles your cock back, and you're thrown into sister, rubbing the spines on your back as the flesh meshes around you. Your clock flung back yet again against its sister. So in short, you were in paradise. Rainbow moans weirdly. It must have felt odd to feel her orbs shake by themselves, but the look on her face says she's more impressed than pissed by your actions. Are you okay? Yeah, Rainbow says. Weird shiver. You wonder if this felt better to her, her boobs jiggling without her touch. All at the control of some miniature boy. You wonder if the thought is driving her wild. You somewhat get an answer when she brings a hand to both sides of her boobs. So you want to have fun, huh? She whispers into her cleavage, the secret communication between the two causing your cock to harden more against her orbs. Let's see if you're feeling the same way after this. Feeling both her palms with her own boobs, she began to push them together and over, suffocating you inside her cleavage. She thinks she's hurting you, but nothing is farther from the truth. She's taking the most significant pleasure there is so far. Her boobs pressing against her cock and applying the pressure that you could never muster on top of it. Every time she pulls back her boobs, you sink an inch before the wall of tit flesh slams again into you, and your dick becomes more erect. Hell, you gotten to the point that when the boobs are coming too close upon you, you thrust and hump your hips response, adding even more to the feelings welling at the base of your shaft. Press, release, press, release. You're so close. Press, release, press, release. You're so close. Press, release, press, release. You hear a moan above, and upon looking up, you see Rainbow has her eyes closed, enjoying the sensation as much as you were. You wonder if you were being shrunk in her cleavage as much as a turn-on as it... You wonder if you being a shrunk in her cleavage is as much as a turn-on as it is for her. Press, release, press, release. Looks like you've gotten your answer. You can smell a sound in the air above the sweat of her tits coming from somewhere below. Fuck, you were getting close, and so is she. As you thrust your hips wildly in the air, waiting for your sweet release. Rainbow, you hear a voice boom and the wall slam on you a final time. You want to cry as it's not enough. What exactly are you doing? She raises her arms in surrender, but you don't care so much about the outside world. You are on the verge of finishing, and ramming your dick against her boobs ramming your dick against her boobs what the tight pose isn't cutting it anymore. You look to your right and see her nipple fully erect. Now we're talking, you say as you squeeze through her boob, the bottom of her tank top offering light footing. But quite honestly, you were just swimming through her rack. Every kick of your foot made her boob bounce, and you were fully aware that you were letting Rainbow know of your intentions. Just had a strange itch. I couldn't quite scratch it. The waves rumbles through her tits, feeling excellent against your crotch. You reach the front of the tank top where it starts to become a tight squeeze, pressing your bag against the fabric as you slide again along the front of her boob. It's fur rubbing your cock. Fuck, it's like she's teasing you without meaning to. Twilight says, and you feel her host. Okay, Twilight says, and you feel your host jerk into movement. Here, let's go make you some tea to help with the hangover. The fabric pins you against the front of her boob, her faint blue aurora larger than your body, but you don't care. Latching your claws onto her nipple, you hear her gasp, making you happy your fingers still have the effect. You climb above the nipple, letting it support your weight, rubbing your dick along its length as you prod it for your goal. You sigh, cock fitting into your milk duct, taking in your full length and girth. Now it's time to get started. You have your feet resting on the boob itself, grinding forward and inward as the top of the tank top presses against your back, keeping her snug in place. You had just found your favorite sex position. Oh, Celestia, Rainbow cries above, seeing her fingers twitch out of the fabric, shivering as they look like they wanted to help you, or at least take care of this nipple's sister. You see the fingers into the tank top and spreading her boobs apart, and you've become worried they're coming for you, but those fears are assuaged when it goes to the other nipple, pinching and pulling at it, as the rest of her hand massaged the orb. Well, at least both of you are enjoying yourselves. But you know, Rainbow is technically in front of Twilight, so I'm not sure how that's going like that. Tag team, you like it. Your entire body is pressed against her boob. It's first stroking every inch of your body as you had your cock deep inside her nipple. You have a groove going on, and so do the fingers on the other side, jerking in tandem to your rhythm, much to your quiet joy. Rainbow may be a tad into you, but you could control her all the same. At least you thought what was the case until a voice boomed once more. Rainbow, will you stop? Rainbow jerks her hand out of her tank top, both startled and disappointed, unaware that her sudden retreat causes her entire rack to pop up from her collar and jump around. This swift movement flings you up just before your last thrust as you throw into the air, before having the entire weight of Rainbow's boobs come down upon you. You fall, hitting the bottom of the tank top and beginning to slide down the fabric, the mounds overhead blocking any view of the outside world and trapping you in darkness. Finally, you collide with a wall of fur, and at the same time, you feel your feet slip through the bottom of the garment. The air rushes past you, hissing in your ear as you try to grab onto the fur of the cyan navel, only to scrape against the flesh. You're free falling towards the wooden floor now. You're unsure if Rainbow felt you slip or now. Even if she didn't, it's too late to catch you now. So this is how you die, tiny and blue-balled. You prepare to make your peace when something catches you the corner of your eye. It's Rainbow's shorts, the front only an inch away from your descending trajectory. So you pull your arms to your side and alter your course. Her shorts grow bigger and bigger to the point they're all you can see, and you can shoot out your claw immediately. Your claw hooks on her waistband, pulling the shorts down by an inch, but it breaks your fall. You dangle in front of Rainbow's crotch, panting from your near-death experience. But you're not getting as much oxygen as you should. Once you've caught your breath, you take one whiff of the air and understand why. The air is filled with Rainbow's musk. The smell is strong enough to put a regular stallion on edge. For a creature of your stature, the smell drives you mad with thoughts of her arousal. You try to look up, only to catch the underside of the tank top you've spent so much time inside. You then look across, wishing you had not done so. A tower of lavender stands across from you, stretching up to the heaves as the two goddesses spoke above, and you cannot help but feel like an insect in a place he didn't belong. You turn back the smooth surface of the shorts, pressing your face against it as you take a deep whiff, moaning as you sway your hips back and forth, banging them against the sand crotch. One slip and you fall to your death. Yet you hump the spot as you dangle for life. Come on, let's get to the kitchen and make you that tea. Twilight turns around, her footsteps resounded in your ear. As for a moment, her gigantic ass presents itself to you. Each cheek presses out against the black fabric, just beginning to be touched and kneed, slapped and pinched. You reach out a claw, only for Twilight to start walking away. You sigh, but you soon have bigger problems. Rainbow Dash raises her legs, sounding like a drawbridge opening as her feet stomp forward, every step causing you to flail up, only to be jerked back down. Your claws have a tight grip on her waistband, but it's only just a matter of time until you can no longer hold on. What do? Rainbow's musk pervades your nostrils once again, making you think to the source of the scent, where you are then reminded of her black panties. You laugh. You just found the way to save your life and finally finish off. Summoning whatever strength you have left, you hoist yourself up onto Rainbow's shorts, placing your feet along the line and throwing your body against her navel, and you stand a better chance before You stand a better chance here, holding her fur tighter whenever she takes a step. But you don't want to risk it for the biscuit. Looking down through the gap between the waistband, you see the black panties looming below in the dark. So big and looking so comfy, it would be the safest place to stay during her shifting weight. You only have one shot at this, so you slip your feet past her waistband and slowly slide into her shorts. The sensation is amazing. Her shorts are still tight enough to support your back, and your cock runs down along her midsection. Her panties growing bigger and bigger, like a billboard you just want to get inside. Finally, you reach the top of her panties, a place you never expected to see on this girl. Your musk is strongest. The musk is strongest here. The entire area bathed in it, and your cock demand immediate attention. You savor the moment in the dark, feeling the sway of her legs as her body moves with every stride. After a few minutes, you're ready. You pull back the elastic of her panties, ever requesting you to strain yourself. As you create a gap a size of an inch perfect for you, you slide along her natural curve, hearing the panties snap above your head as the firm fabric glides you down to paradise. Your back becomes slick with slime as her panties are already wet, but you take this as a job well done. From before. You reach the slop of the panties where you stop, feeling like you're laying back in a hammock. It's dark in here, but your reptilian eyes let you see the giant pussy quivering above your head. The slit is twice the length of you, the folds just as blue as their owner, hiding what you wanted behind it. On either side of you, monstrous legs stray left and right, causing your body to be pushed against her pussy, just to be pulled back a moment later, only to be forced against her sweet folds once more. You enjoy the sensation with all your body, your dick getting sucked by your lips every time you met, and the constant shudders coursing throughout the giant's body spoke of this being mutual enjoyment. But you wanted more. You stood up in her panties as much as you could manage, bringing your claw to either fold and using them to support your weight. Then you slid up in her slit, letting their lips close in on you and support your weight, feeling like a wet hug as you wiggle about, your cock becoming wet with her juices, which were beginning to pour out below your feet. Her legs quiver, her steps become shallow. It's becoming too much for her. This you knew, and you plan on making it worse once your eyes set on the nub at the top of the lips. You climb up her pussy, not hesitating to give a few humps whenever your cock demanded it, reaching the top and claiming your reward. You let out your tongue slither out from your mouth, going forth and wrapping around her clit as many times as you could manage. As you fucked her pussy lips from before, the latter act didn't do much for you, but it sure did a lot for you. Okay. On second thought, you hear Rainbow's voice through her pussy like you were receiving a transmission in a submarine. I've got to use the bathroom real quick. Gonna vomit everything up. Rainbow bursts into a sprint and you yelp, her panties pressing hard against your back as you're brought further into her folds. You retract your tongue, each stride causing you to go deeper into her marehood, and you suddenly became fearful. You feel something strong clamp at your legs, and looking down, you see her pussy swallowing you up. You beat against the sand mounds, hoping for a pair of fingers to pluck you out, yet all you hear are just a chorus of moans. She's running up the steps, her pussy sucking more off you with every rise, as your body was becoming slick with her juices. This causes you to slip in faster. You cry, then you moan. Your midsection has been pulled in, and your cock is receiving special treatment. It slides against her vaginal walls as they continue to suck your scales for all they were worth, pulling you in more and more. You struggle, not much for Dash's core strength. Her pussy pushes you out a bit before sucking you in more, pushing you out and sucking you some more, like a baby sucking on a bottle. You know that Rainbow's not going to make it time, that her pussy is going to devour you, and you're going inside whether you want to or not. To fight is to go against the flow, and that's something you never saw any point in doing. You stare up at her cyan folds, at her mounds and her clit, taking every last detail you could so you had something to think about once you were inside. Then you open your mouth, yelling at her pussy like it's some monster. That's right, eat me up. I'm going to be better than any cock you've ever had once. I'm inside you, fucking your shit up. What the okay, Spike, this is so random. You're up to your shoulders now, the pussy almost grumbling at your taste. You laugh, feeling the structure of this woman quiver as she pulls you in. Your pussy not gonna stand a chance once I'm inside. Being in your panties was nice, but now I'm gonna plunder your cave. Spike, does Rainbow even hear this? This is just hilarious now. You take a deep breath, your head is pulled in inside her pussy, which almost burps upon consuming its prey. Throaty moans fill your ears as your captor has finally stopped running. The squeak of doors distant to your ears as the inside of her pussy shifts as the rest of the body sits down. Rainbow's pussy is thick and tight. All things considering, there's not much for you to do. The contractions of muscles pull you deeper into her body, while her inner walls rub all along your scales. You promise yourself not to be like any other male, so you start moving whatever part of you that isn't snug against her, bouncing around in her cooch and causing her muscles to clamp even more. Oh, sweet Celestia, you hear Rainbow's voice reverberate through the walls of her pussy, as well as hearing her distant heartbeat. Spike, if you're in there, you're better than any dildo I've ever had. Spike, if you're in there, you're better than any dildo I've ever had. You rock your claw upward, punching her vagina walls, making you groan even more. Please don't stop, you yelp as you feel her rise again. But you try to ignore anything outside her pussy and focus on everything within. Your claw grabs onto a wall, thrusting your cock against it, as well as the rest of your body. You didn't let your tongue go to waste, allowing it to slither out of your mouth and collect as much fluid as possible. Your prison shakes as Rainbow humps her hips upward. This is awesome, you hear her say, feeling your cave go around in a circle as she rocks her hips. You try your best with your own administration, but her walls are clenching more and more of her pussy gaining a mind of its own. I have a teeny tiny dragon trapped in my vagina, and he can't leave unless I let him out. Her lips apart, letting you see the black fabric of her panties, as well as a cyan hand laid like a board. She then humps her hand over and over, sending you trembling back and forth through the tunnel at whatever movement your captor chose. Any control you had over her is lost in a moment. That's it, Rainbow says outside. You see her shorts pulled down next to her panties, and then you see a familiar pair of blue fingers. For a moment, you think yourself saved as they spread apart her lips and enter her cave, coming in for you. They slide across your legs, giving you your dick a nice pinch, and before taking your midsection and their hold and pulling you out, you gulp the fresh air, but it doesn't last long as she plunges you back inside. She rubs you along the walls, your body failing as she does so, which only intensifies her pleasure. I take it back, her waves rumbles through her pussy. You're the best dildo I've ever owned. You want to be mad, but you're too fucking horny to care. Every rub netting you the same treatment down below. You let Rainbow wear herself using your body. Both of you feel pressure building in your loins as she began to hump her hand and inserting more fingers. You, however, just wildly hump, taking whatever you can get. Then Rainbow throws you deeper into her pussy as deeply as her tunnel goes. The blue fingers slide out from the cave, pinching the folds tightly afterward, denying you any escape as the walls become tighter around you. Are you ready to be crushed alive by my cunt? She says. You can hear her fingers playing with her clit outside her pussy. To be squished by my walls as they fill with my juices. The only way you're escaping my fucking pussy is by fucking it with all that you're worth. Show me what that growth spurt yours can do. Show me what that growth spurt of yours can do. Rainbow God. You stand up, pushing against her wall in order to do so, and driving her mad with lust. She begins humping again, causing you to lose footing as you stumble around, but you soon push forward, splitting her walls the closer you got to your goal. I told you, Rainbow, you yell, wondering if she can hear your voice outside of her pussy. You're the one that's going to get fucked. You proceed to stick your cock in her cervix, causing her to clamp her thighs together, and thus her walls clenched around you, but you're not going to be finished by her. You thrust your cock forward, over and over into the chamber, letting the walls undulate against you in support. She thrusts against her hand, which causes the tunnel you're inside to go out of whack, but you pay her back by fucking her innermost part more deeply, and then you hear a cry ringing from above, and you do so just as well. You pull out your cock as the walls close in on you, willing with the white juices as you squeeze your dick with utmost pressure. You come alongside Rainbow, your pitiful jizz mixing with the current of hers, which turn towards her now open lips. You rattle along, and finally you're free of Rainbow's pussy. You fall in too much bliss to care of your life, but water is what you feel at the end. All that surrounds you is white, and up above, two cyan cheeks block out any light, each adorned with a thunderbolt, which white liquid leaks out from the pussy above, and you realize that you're inside a toilet. You tread the water decently, and after a few months, the ass cheeks from above finally rise, their owner turning around to give you a better look. Rainbow's monolithic face hovers over the seat, flashing you the biggest grin you've ever seen her wear, and that's not just because you're tiny. Please tell me that was as awesome for me as it was for you. You nod. Let me sleep inside your panties tonight. She grins, only if you promise to move around a lot. Rainbow dives a hand into the toilet, but before it can enter, the door to the bathroom is kicked wide open. Twilight jumps in. Rainbow, are you okay? I heard you crying, and then her gaze travels to the toilet, her eyes blinking at the sight, as she comes to hover her head above the lid as well. Is that what I think it is? You wave your claw. Hey, Twilight, so, how's your night going? She deadpans before looking at Dash. You used that potion I told you not to use, didn't you? Well, she bounces her head left and right, and I didn't use it on myself, per se. Twilight narrows her eyes, looking at you both quickly, and then the anger dissipates from her face. Well, she says, wiping her hands. I guess that wraps up that experiment. Both Dash and you go say, huh? Twilight levitates a clipboard from the wall. The dosage you took is supposed to shrink your size and make you more horny than usual. I was curious to see how this would actually exactly play out, and I admit, I found it hard to not laugh back in the kitchen. You knew? Of course I did. Why do you think I showed you my butt? She reaches a hand and slaps her own behind it, her ass cheeks giggling. I couldn't interfere in the experiment. It would destroy the whole purpose of doing it. You sigh and just like that, everything's revealed to be Twilight's master plan, like always. She floats the clipboard away, looking into you both with a glint in her eyes. But there's still another 24 hours to go. Why don't we try one more experiment? Wimple stands up, looking to Twilight as you still flow in the toilet bowl. And just what is that, Twilight grins. A threesome. The end. I want this threesome to be a thing. Anyways, guys, I'm not sure, but about this whole ClopFic thing. But for the moment, I will say, we'll have like double uploads on Wednesdays, and I would want them to be like with just a single chapter. Best way to say it. Man, anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, listening to what you guys do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Failed me, the holsters, or whatever we call them. Hauling booty, man, we're hauling. Ah, no! Skinny! No! We were hauling too much booty! No! Can I wish myself out of here? Please tell me I can wish myself out.